Now, there's one thing everyone has probably done in their entire life. If you haven't, I'm very concerned. But if you have not, I shouldn't be concerned. But that's none of my business. But anyway, everyone has probably stole something once upon a time. Maybe it was some food or some money from your mom or something like that, or just something petty in general that you might have wanted back from your ex, blah blah blah, whatnot. But this is about the first time I stole something and the very last time I had stole something. So this story is going to kick off when I was in the 10th grade. Now, when I was in the 10th grade, it was nearing the end of the school year. At the end of the school year, the school would throw like I forgot what the name of it was, but it was something for all the students. We would all go out there, buy turkey legs, buy this, buy that. It was just a whole bunch of food out there that we can buy instead of going to the cafeteria that day. I would always make sure I had some money and whatnot for to go out there. So I remember I was going out there buying stuff, and I had forgot that I asked my mother, I asked her, could I have some money for this thing? She would always give me money every year, but sometimes I wouldn't buy any food. I'd just keep the money to myself. But she caught me one day and she told me to give her money back. But anyway, I remember that I went out there buying all this food and stuff, right? And when I bought all this food, I remembered that my headphones, this is when we had the phones with the ports in them, where we had to plug the headphones into the phone. Literally, my headphones had caught a shortage in them. I was real bad with my headphones catching shortages and stuff. My headphones would always catch a shortage in them. It would suck until we moved on to wireless headphones and stuff. So that cancels that issue out. But I would always have a big problem with that. I could not keep my headphones alive for the life of me, and I promise I could not. I was trying my best, but at the same time, I think I was playing my music entirely too loud. But I remember I told my homeboy, I'm not gonna say his real name because this stuff actually happened, what we were doing. But I'm just give him a fake name. His name was Johnson. I told him, I'm like, man, golly. I said, man, my headphones are always breaking, this and that, man. He said, man, forget them little petty headphones, man. Let's go to the mall and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So it was me and Bowman and Johnson. We all going to the mall, just minding our business. So how the school is set up, it's like in the middle of a big, if I had to say, like a crowded area, like where people come out to eat, have fun, this and that. We were like smack in the middle. So some students, they'll be leaving from the school to go up to the mall and stuff. Now this is where the main part of the story takes place, at the mall. So we at the mall just minding our business and stuff, and my homeboy Johnson, he's like, hey man, he said, I'm coming here for some socks and stuff. I'm like, all right. I said, you got any money? He was like, nah, I ain't got no money and stuff. I'm like, huh? You ain't got no money to get any socks or anything? He was like, nah, I'm just gonna steal them, man. I'm like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, I ain't coming in there. He was like, man, hold up, man. He said, nah. He said, just sit here with me and just hear me out. He said, I know how to do this. I've been doing this for a while, man. I'm like, okay. I didn't want to do it because I was scared to death of getting caught. So this is going to be my first time right here stealing. And we going in there. He goes into the shoe store, right? And then, oh, let me mention this to y'all. Before we was walking in, right, this one dude was driving the car. He said, hit up the mall. I'm like, I said, what does that mean, bro? He said, steal stuff from the mall. I'm like, shoot. I said, I'm about to get in trouble. I 100% knew I was going to get caught. But what happened was we all went in there. He went to the shoe store, and he went in there, and he seen the pair of socks he wanted. He got the socks. He was looking at them. And he said, hey, man, keep a lookout for me. I was like, okay. I was looking out. Then here he go, ripping the socks all open and stuff. I mean, ripping the package all open, taking the socks, putting them on, putting them in his pocket and stuff. And he looking, he said, anybody come? I'm like, nah, I'm keeping watch, right? And all of a sudden, I look, I said, hey man, it's an employee coming this way. And then he kind of stood up and act like he got the stuff that he ripped the socks out of, and he threw it under the clothes rack. And then we was walking around and stuff, and we just was acting like we wasn't doing nothing. And then Bowman, he's sitting there, he was like, man, did you just take them socks, man? I said, yeah, man. I said, we gonna get up out of here. And then Johnson, he looked at me, he said, didn't you say you need some headphones too, right, bro? I said, yeah, but I ain't got no money though, bro. And he said, man, just steal the headphones. You know where we went to? We went to Sears in the mall, and we walked all the way over there. He said, man, all you just got to do, you got to be quick with it, and you got to you pick the ones. Once you put them in your pocket, we got to get out of here. I said, all right, cool. So I found the headphones that I wanted. The whole time, my heart is beating fast. My heart is beating like crap. I swear it is. I'm looking around. I put only thing I did was got the headphones, put them in my pocket, and then walked off with them. And I'm sitting there, I said, oh my God. I'm like, bro, like my heart was beating so fast. And we walked out. I told him, I'm like, man, I said, my heart's beating fast. He said, man, I told you it was that simple, man. And you know, from that moment on, I went back to that Sears stealing all the time. Just all the time, just going here, going there, and then just stealing stuff. Well, not stuff in general, right? I was going in there stealing headphones. I still think I got a picture of some of the headphones I've stolen, but I'm not gonna share them, but I might put them in a video soon, or maybe a thumbnail of it. But anyway, when I was going in there, I would go back. Every time we have something big, like the summer fest or the fall fest, whatever, I would go to the mall and I was stealing headphones. And because my headphones always had a shortage in them. And I said to myself, wait a minute. My homeboy knew. He said, hey man, he said, can you go to the mall and give me some headphones too? I'm like, okay. So I went there, right? And I was looking at the headphones, what I wanted. I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna upgrade this time. I'm gonna get me some of them big headphones. I looked. Now my heart was still racing because it's like my second time doing it. I got the headphones, put them in my backpack, zipped it up, and then I got my boy some headphones too, and I put them in there, and I walked on. I went on by my business. Then I walked right out the back door. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man. I said, I done got away with this again. I'm like, man. I said, how easy is this? I was sitting there thinking to myself, I said, this is so easy, just taking these headphones, bro. And I came back with the headphones and my homeboy, he was like, bro, you actually stole it? He said, you stupid. I said, you wanted some, so I got you some, man. Like, what the heck? And minding my business, I built the reputation up for myself around the school. They knew me as the mall as the mall hitter. Well, that's just the name I'm making up, but I knew people knew who I was because I was going to the mall taking a whole bunch of headphones and stuff. They should have gave me a name like the Head Thief. Okay, that pause written all over that. But anyway, some time flies by. I meet some new people. This dude named is Talbert, and then Justin, and then there's some other people. They all coming along too. So Johnson and Bowman, they with us, and Bowman, he's like, hey man, he said, I hope you're not gonna be stealing today at the mall. I said, I don't know. And I promised these two other girls, they said, hey, can you go to the mall and get us some jewelry? Can you steal it for us though? Act like you gay, walk up to the counter and stuff. And then here go my dumb tail. I was actually considering it because I walked into the jewelry store acting like I was gay, looking for some headphones and not headphones, looking for some jewelry and stuff for them. And that was one of my crushes. One of my crushes was asking too, but she said she didn't really want none. But my dumb tail, I'm in there acting gay, looking for some jewelry and stuff. And Johnson, he with me. He said, hey man, he said I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'm like, why? He said, look, he said the door, he said the mall has some metal detectors. Well, this store in general has some metal detectors, and if you walk out with anything in your pocket, they gonna get you. I'm like, oh, okay. I knew what they were, but at the same time, I wasn't thinking I would have got caught right then and there. But it was like 5 of us going to the mall and all that, right? And I had gotten so comfortable with it, just going in there, just lifted a whole bunch of headphones, 5 to 6 pair. Like the first time it was just the green one. Second time I came back was another pair of headphones. Then I stole from my homeboy, and then now I'm all of a sudden coming back getting 5 to 6 pair. People were asking me literally, hey man, can you go there and steal me a pair of headphones and stuff? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And this one dude, the girl that I liked that the dude was with on the bus, I still liked her after she did that crap to me. I went in there and stole her a pair of headphones, right? One of her friend boys, he was like, hey Carlos, I like such and such headphones, huh? I'm gonna report you because you stealing. I'm like, oh my god. I said, I'm gonna get in trouble. But the dude never snitched. I told him, like, you gonna be violating the code. I said, I'm gonna tell you them you was with me. But anyway, so Johnson told me, he was like, yeah man, don't go out there. I'm like, all right, cool. But I seen a little ring on the ground. I picked up the ring and put it in my pocket, and we went on. So this is, now remember Talbert and Bowman, we were all just going to the Sears with Johnson and them, and Johnson told me, all right man, look, he said you need to go ahead, get what you gonna get, and get out. So Johnson told me he was about to go back to the school. He was walking back to the school. We had to walk across a big old busy highway and stuff. So he went back to the school and stuff, and it was me and 3 other people, Bowman, Talbert, and I forgot the other dude, but I remember him. But we was all just in there. I told them to keep a lookout for me, doing the same thing. And I told Talbert, I said, hey man, you go ahead and if you want anything, just go around, just take it, man. He was like, for real? I'm like, yeah. I said, what's something that broke recently of yours? I remember this conversation real vividly too. I said, what's something that's broken of yours so recently? He said, my MP3 player. I'm like, well, I said, just steal another MP3 player in here, man. And then he said, all right. He said, how we gonna get out? I said, it's the back door over here. I always walk out of. I said, the metal detectors never go off at all. So while he was out and I had the other dude keeping a lookout, I put like 10 pairs of headphones in my backpack. My backpack was really big, but the headphones, they kind of took up a lot of space in my backpack, right? And I zipped my backpack up, and we all met up downstairs. And the dude with the glasses, his nickname was DQ. I got it. His nickname was DQ. And DQ was like, hey man, he said, I'm about to go on here, roll out too. You just lifted a whole bunch of headphones. I'm like, all right, cool. I said, I'm about to go on here, roll out this back door. I said, I doubt anyone seen anything. Talbert, he told me, he was like, all right man, I remember what was going on too. And he was walking, he had a pair of not the headphones. He had the MP3 in his pocket, and he was walking out I was walking out the door. He was like, oh Carlos, wait, I gotta tie my shoes up. I put my hands over my ears. I'm like, I'm on one, F it, I'm on one, singing Drake's song, right? And I went back to the school. I gave everybody their headphones, what they wanted, what this and that. And then I came back to school the next day. I'm looking, I'm like, I'm like, where's Bowman and Talbert at? And then I seen Bowman. I'm like, hey bro, I said, you seen Johnson and Talbert? He said, nah, I hadn't seen them all day. We used to, like, Johnson missing like a whole bunch of days of school, like 4 to 5 days. I think he dropped out. So, but Talbert, I'm like, I said, I wonder where he is. So a few days go by, right? And all of a sudden, there go Talbot. I'm like, hey man, I said, where you been for the last few days, man? He said, man, you remember we went to the mall and we was stealing all that stuff, right, man? I'm like, yeah. He said, man, I got caught. I'm like, I said, you got caught? He was like, yeah. He said, as soon as you walked out the door, he said, I was calling your name, like, hold up, man, wait for me. And he looked, he said, as soon as I walked out the door, right, he said a woman ran up to him, said, hey, stop, can you wait please? She said, hey, I'm gonna need for you to come over here and give all the stuff back that you took. And he looked, he said, what are you talking about? She said, come with me. And it was a police officer with her, right? I guess they was watching me for a while in there, whatnot, right? Because they had a police officer in there and stuff. They took him to the back room, and he told me when he was back in there, it was a whole bunch of cameras and stuff on the wall. And he was looking. He said, "So this is where y'all keep watching people at and stuff?" And then she was like, "Yeah." Then they rolled back the footage. They rolled the footage back, and it was all of us right there. They wanted me. They wanted me in general. They wanted me because they seen me put 5 to 10 pairs of headphones in my backpack, and I just walked I walked out. I didn't know at all that he got caught. And the woman looked at him and said, "We're gonna need for you to tell us who the people you were with, their names, and where we can get them at." And this the part I felt bad because he went by the no snitching code. He didn't snitch at all. He didn't snitch. Talbert, if you're watching this, thanks, buddy, because man, I was scared to death because my mother would have beat the dog breaks out of me. I told my mother about this situation a few years later. She didn't believe me until I reminded her. You remember all the time when I was coming home with some pair of headphones? Then that's when it started clicking to her. Them headphones would always break too. But Talbert, he was, man, he told me they was interrogating him like crap. He said that we was in Sears, so after he got caught, he said that his mama came and got him. His mama was furious. She was furious at him. And they told him, "We're not going to press any charges against him. He's just not allowed in Sears for 2 years," right? I did not mean for that to rhyme. But he wasn't allowed in there for 2 years. And his mama went home and she was asking him, saying, "Who was the guys you were with, this and that?" And then he was like, I don't know none of them. He was just sticking to the no snitching code, even if it was his mama. He was doing it. I'm like, holy crap. I said, I'd have probably broke in because my mama would have been deterred. She would have been beating me until she got the names. I'd have probably broke. I'm sorry, y'all. My mama gave out some of the worst whoopings in the world. But he said that even his dad came in there and his mom whooped him. And then she was like, "So where did everyone else go to?" He said, "Everybody else just split off." She said, "Oh, so they just left you in there?" He was like, "Yeah, they just kind of did." I said, "Man," I said, "Look, man," I said, "I didn't know." I said, "I told you to come on." But at the same time, this whole situation, it was kind of my fault because I put everybody in this situation because my selfish tail wanted some more headphones. Look, I was a bad friend back then. I was a real bad friend, but I've learned from my mistakes, and that has made me into the man that I am today. But anyway, going on, she was like, "So they just left you in the store?" He was like, "Yes, ma'am. Everyone just kind of split off." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, I had to get out of there. I said, "I didn't know." I said, "My mama would have whooped my butt too." And then he said that his dad whooped him. He said that he laid in on him with the belt. And she said that Talbot told his mom my name in general. He was like, "Well, yeah, Carlos, he was the ringleader and stuff." I said, "Man," I said, "Look, I can't even be mad at you, man." I said, "That was your mama and stuff, but man," he said that his mama never liked me from that day on. I'm like, I said, "I don't blame her." I said, I wouldn't want my child hanging around someone like that that's still in front of stores. And I'm saying this about myself because I know what kind of person I was back then. I really wasn't a good person. But I've learned, like I said, I've learned from my mistakes. But anyway, he was telling me all this. He said, "But yeah, man," he said, they shouldn't find you or nothing like that, or Johnson or anyone else. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I said, I done got a friend in trouble. I said, this dude trusted me and whatnot. And I said to myself that actually another pair of my headphones broke. And I was saying to myself, like, dang, I gotta go back and get some more headphones. I told myself, this is the last time I'm gonna do this. I said, like, I felt bad, but I said I didn't want to get myself in trouble to where I turned myself in. So when I went over there, I just took a pair of headphones, put it in my backpack, and I walked out the door. Just simple as that. It was just so quick, and I was just getting too good with it. Like, I'm not trying to brag or nothing about it, but I'm just saying I was just getting real quick with it, and it was just I was just getting real quick with it. But that was my last time stealing from that mall in general, because I knew they was most likely looking for me at that point, because you came in there again and you done got away with these head. I probably got out of there with like $400 worth of headphones because them were some expensive headphones. But just moral to the story, everyone, don't steal anything at all, especially from the mall or stores. Because after I told my mama this, she said, see, you got lucky. The Lord let you escape from that. He let you escape from that. I'm like, yeah, I said. But at the same time, it was an eye-opener for me because I don't need to be doing that stuff. Because I was just doing that, just trying to get some headphones for that one girl that I told y'all about that went over to the other dude on the bus and some other stuff. And I was just really trying to impress her. Like I said, that ring that I stole earlier, she said the ring is kind of dirty looking and stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I was really lonely back then. I was real lonely. I was a lonely child. I only had like maybe one girlfriend, and that relationship went to crap, literally. Brandon, you know what I mean? I do not know if I want to tell that story or not. But this is the end of the video, everyone. And I will see you guys in the next one. So, peace out.